Tobago media, all those assembled here. Before we begin anything, we pay respects to God, the God, the universe, the great spirit, whatever you may call that great energy. Before we begin anything, we pay respects to the ancestors, those that went before. Before we begin anything, we pay respects to the sun, the water, wind, sea, and sky, the kingdom of animals, the kingdom of plants. Before we begin anything, we pay respects to the Carnival, the Morale, the First Nation peoples, the original peoples of this land that we stand before. Before we begin anything, we pay respects to the elders in our midst. Before we begin anything, we pay respects to the seventh generation to come. Before we begin anything, we pay respects, we pay respects, we pay respects. Welcome to the media launch of PANTHEON 2022, an exhibition on paint costume tradition from Trinidad and Tobago. We want to welcome Trinidad and Tobago visitors from the world to this location here at Mille Fleurs at the 23 Marval Road, one of the magnificent seven around Grand Savannah, to come and witness this exhibition which runs from today, Wednesday 9th to Sunday 27th of March. In that period of time, the exhibition will be open from 10 to 6 p.m. every single day, and there will be 4 special events that will happen during that period. There will be 2 moonlight lectures, dates to be announced, but this grounds with the costumes, and there will be more costumes coming in. It looks really beautiful at night when you walk. It's a very romantic, beautiful space, and it's very magical. There will be a tea party event, a fundraising event, which is a tea with the monarchs, where we will have costume dancing as well as visited royalty of the kings and queens, where people can meet and greet, celebrity chefs, that kind of stuff. And that's to raise money for the National Trust and the upkeep of Mille Fleurs and other heritage buildings under their purview. And then there's a family day, the closing day on Sunday the 27th, where costumes will dance. So that's from 10 to 6 p.m., but the costumes will dance from about 2 to 4 p.m. inside that period, and the families of the country are invited to come down. Now, the exhibition cost is going to cost $50 online for adults and $20 for young kids. Institutions like schools, especially orphanages, charities, NGOs, and those kinds of things can make special applications to us to get discounts or to get that waive, right? So you all can come in, right? So we want as many people to come through the space as possible, but with the COVID restrictions. So doing it online, it enables us to be able to better prepare. You can pick your time, your hour, whenever you want. You can go to the National Trust website, nationaltrust.tt, and you'll be able to select the time, the date that you want to come and visit, and more information will be up about the 4 special events, and you can book your family, your line, your crew, and that kind of stuff to come through on those particular days from now. It's up to 2.5 weeks, and this is a historic exhibition. We started this exhibition, the Artists Coalition of Trinidad and Tobago, which I introduce myself. I'm Rubadiri Victor, the president and founder of the Artists Coalition of Trinidad and Tobago, which is the country's premier creative industries and cultural sector lobbying group. Right, so we want to most of the standing creative sector enablers for things that we lobbied into existence, and we have fought long and hard for the preservation of heritage and legacy IP and legacy components of Trinidad and Tobago culture. This particular exhibition and this phenomenal PANTHEON is very, very, very important to us. The King and Queen costume tradition is the pinnacle of the Trinidadian personality, and all of these things come to bear at this conclusion. It is the greatest expression of our creativity writ large. At its best, there is nothing like those creations on the face of the earth. Trinidad and Tobago has pioneered a form of monumental costume making who are signifiers, which signify ideas, which embody every kind of signifier from the smallest idea and throwaway casualty to massive ideas of philosophy and embodies things from insects to God. And everything in between, and things either on both sides, beyond the imagination of the human imagination to date. It's always something that pushes the envelope in terms of human expression and human imagination and human possibility, and also engineering. And we are celebrating here all aspects of that tradition. So the exhibition inside contains 11 panels, really 33 panels, because each panel has 3 sites of information on the history and the power of the King and Queen costume tradition. It's the first time in the 63 years of the King and Queen costume tradition and the 160-something year plus tradition of Trinidad and Tobago Carnival that we are actually having an exhibition like this interrogating the King and Queen costume. And this is the second year, and the first year was last year, and it was held in Woodford Square. And it was given permission by this gentleman that you have right over there, His Excellency, the Mayor, Mayor Martinez, and he was so impressed with what he saw and the energy and all those things, and he understood the importance of this tradition and this curation of it, that he immediately adopted it, and he says, I want this to happen every year in the city. And that is an amazing gesture by a civic personality who understands. It's very rare in Trinidad especially that civic personalities and political thought personalities understand cultural significance of things, and especially something that is so significant to the city of Port Spain, which is the heart and seat of the kingdom of Carnival worldwide. I mean, we always say there's one Venice Carnival, one New Orleans Carnival, one Brazil Carnival. There are 300 plus Trinidad-style carnivals. The 2 largest street festivals in the Western world are Trinidad-style carnivals. Notting Hill, London, UK, and Brooklyn, Labor Day in the USA. At their heights, those places and those festivals had 4 million people on the streets. Our total population is 1.5 million people. 4 million people on the streets. Trinidad and Tobago power did that. And not no private sector, no public sector. The people of Trinidad and Tobago manifested that thing. It's the most successful business enterprise that Trinidad and Tobago has planetary-wide. It earns, those 300 Trinidad-style carnivals earn over $15 billion every single year. They are in fortress economies where you can't get in to sell a fountain pen. And we have billion-dollar economies set up in white supremacist ex-colonial states. That is an amazing thing. In states and cities where if 4 black people get together on street corners, cause for police action. We have 4 million people, and the state can only negotiate with it. This is the power of Trinidad and Tobago. And this is the power that we are celebrating here in PANTHEON, the exhibition on the King and Queen costume tradition of Trinidad and Tobago. Again, we welcome Trinidad and Tobago. We want everyone to come in and take it in. You have rooms full of information. There are costumes in the yard. Costumes like this one, our second place winner, Madame Coquier, Queen, one of the Queens of Carnival, second place this year. And as I said, there are different days when the costumes will dance, and you will be treated today by one of the costume artists dancing here tonight. Now, this costume did not even make the finals. This is from the preliminaries. But it is such a powerful costume because on the wings of this costume, and this is everything about the kineticism and the movement that is embodied in Trinidad and Tobago King and Queen Carnival costumes. It's not a float. This is something that moves. It dances, you know. And that's the thing about the King and Queen costume tradition. The lesson, the insistence is dance. Dance. This is not some static float that all the rest of the world know how to make floats. Brazil, everybody knows how to New Orleans. They can make all kinds of fancy floats, but they can't make it dance. That is what we do. We make it dance. we make human idea dance in space. We make human philosophy, human imagination dance in space. That's why we mention 3 Olympic openings and an Emmy Award and that kind of stuff. The greatest choreographers of human kineticism, human history, because of the lessons that he learned in the streets of Trinidad and Tobago. And so this is what we are celebrating here with this exhibition. Again, today, Wednesday, marks the night, marks the opening of March, going all the way to Sunday, 27th, and every day, 10 to 6, go to the nationaltrust.tt website, book your hour when you, your line, your family, your school, your business place, all of these people can come on through, and you look out for the dates of the special 4 events, which will be announced on the National Trust website, as well as the Artist Coalition website, as well as the PANTHEON an exhibition website, Facebook page. Right, so check out all those places and stuff, get your information, the press is here, you want to do your thing. Right, so as I said, one of the great gestures that happened after the first year of this exhibition was the adoption of PANTHEON as part of the round of festival days and calendar of the city of Port of Spain. And that gesture was offered to us by His Excellency, the Mayor, Mr. Martinez, and I would like to invite him now here to give his remarks on the opening and declare the exhibition officially open. Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rubadiri Victor. First of all, let me say thank you very much for inviting me this afternoon to bring some remarks to this excellent, innovative, fantastic media launch of history in the making. PANTHEON is based on what was said. It's really about bringing alive our history of something that started by our people many years ago, spawned all over the world by 1.4 million people. But by then it wasn't 1.4. We've only grown to 1.4. But the thing about it is that the power of the people of Trinidadians and Tobagonians is done in the gift that we have called talent, our culture. Today is a beautiful day. It comes after International Women's Day, where we celebrate our gifted women with the rest of the world. And we know that the women of the world and the women, because we're celebrating kings and queens, and the women of Trinidad and Tobago can stand out anywhere among any country, in any space, and show their worth. Because we are tremendously talented people. A lot of us hide suppress our culture and our exuberance and our great talents because we are among other people who are just as talented. But when we go out, when we leave the country and we go out, we are able to demonstrate it so much better because there's a lack of that. And we realize how genuine and authentic we are with our culture. When Mr. Victor came to me last year and he said, and he asked if we can have this event, I immediately jumped at it. Why? Well, he doesn't know that I do have a history of culture. Why? Not because I was born here, right? But I, at a young age, was involved in St. Teresa's school choir, where I sang. Strangely enough, the Archbishop of Port Spain was in the same choir then. And from there, I met a guy by the name of John Isaacs. And John and I joined Noble Douglas and started to dance. So, and then from there on, we went on to Ken Oxley's, the Light Operatic Society of Trinidad Tobago. So I have some and then he went on to join that famous group called Canal. So in those days I hung out with people like Carl Jacobs and and then Rudder was coming up. And strangely enough, I married a girl who had a lot of Kiddies Carnival trophies under her belt. One of them, very significant, called Moon Over Maracas, that was actually done by Peter Minchell. And the thing about it is that it's a very famous costume when she was in Kiddies Carnival. And then she went on to the March Gras with Queens, and in 1987 she was at the March Gras show with a costume and Miss Soul Shall Dance We Dance. And she did very well. And that was the year I think Rudder won with Hammer and Bunny Agour. And then the year after, she played with a band called Japanorama, representing Japan, and she had a costume called Messenger of Peace. And strangely enough, between those 2 years of dating her, because I got married in 1990, I learned so much about wire bending and sticking on. My fingers got a lot of glue.
Hot glue. Evil stick.
And I spent many nights in a mask camp. And that's how I really got to understand what the value of what these costumes are. The one behind me and the one that you see being demonstrated there. And when you get that, when that bug bites you, it's magnificent. Because you learn so much about people, and you learn so much about art, and you learn so much about presentation, because you know what is going to come thereafter. And I grew up in Woodbrook, so around the corner was Phase 2, and there at Phase 2 mother was Invaders, the grandmother who came down from Starlift into Phase 2. So that's basically where I hung out. So I understand our culture well. The thing about it is my appreciation for it is very high. So yes, I have become the mayor of Port of Spain, and my job is to look after the city of Port of Spain. And when I looked around the city as the mayor on my first year, and I said, wait a minute, we are the Mecca of Carnival, the birth of Carnival, the birth of the steel pan. Show me symbols that represent what we discovered and what we started and what we developed. Show me, walk down a street in anywhere in the world and you see their history in statues, symbols, and so on. Well, we have the Blue Devil, we have the Peregrinae, we have the Midnight Robber, we have the Moko Jumbi, we have all of that. Show me one park or square in the city of Port of Spain that has something that symbolizes our traditional carnival. How hard is that? So that our young people who may not have gotten the opportunity that we got to learn and develop, to maybe enjoy a taste of what we learned and what we experienced growing up. And that is, to me, something that we have to work on. I would like to ask that we work on it together. Now, the Artists Coalition has looked at the kings and queens, and that's a start in the right direction. Because where do we have our history? We talk about, God rest his soul, Richard Affam, who has only recently passed, who's a kingmaker of mass costumes that we all enjoyed over the years. And we have Bailey, George Bailey, Salena, Stephen Derrick, and all those iconic images of people who were our people. Well, what I would like to do for them is to create something called a Walk of Fame in the city of Port of Spain.
Yes.
So that we can honor people, our people, not nobody else's people, our people. Let's do that. So, Mr. Victor has the right intention. He is seeing that he needs to help us to preserve what we own. We need to honor our people, and we need to help him and guide him and give him the enthusiasm and the motivation and the
Money.
I'm going to say moneyism. So that we can preserve this. Because what you see, Peter Minshall went and changed a whole city by his creation in an Olympics in Barcelona. It's still, Barcelona has changed. It was an industrial city. And today it's a tourist destination as a result of the Olympics. You could transform another city in the world. Now he transforms Trinidad at Carnival time. But by Ash Wednesday, we don't want to see nothing of Carnival. Isn't that a shame? Come on. Let's start preserving. We're developing a museum, a Carnival museum, thank God. At last. Let's do that. Let's help our people. We know what it is, you know. We know what we have to do. We just have to encourage corporate Trinidad, the government of Trinidad, and all the interested parties that have developed out of Carnival. Let us put our traditional characters in the parks and square. You can imagine something like this in bronze. Somewhere on the street, on a corner maybe, or one of those islands around, you know, where you have to drive around. Or somewhere, you know how much pictures people will take.
Stop to take.
How far that will go in the world? Because you don't know where every picture lands up. People take pictures of fountains and all kinds of things. And all of them look similar in many different countries. But that ain't looking similar. That is outstanding. And that's why when he spoke to me last year, I was so easy to say yes. Because in my mind, he didn't know I was saying at last. And that is what I compliment the gentleman and his team for. So we have spoke about the birth of Carnival. We spoke about the joy of Carnival. We spoke about the beauty of Carnival. We spoke about the love of Carnival. Well, let's talk about the preservation of Carnival. And that is something we ought to really work towards and support this initiative. Because sometimes things, remember, Carnival was born with a simple group of people just like you and I am. In a backyard doing something. It wasn't no big set of people. It was not 1.4 million people doing this, you know. It was a group of people putting things together with talent and added value. And from there on, it emerged better and better as more and more came around. So the thing about it is that you don't have to have too many of us to start anything good. All we have to do is to start. And today is the day. Gave us a taste of it last year, and it's going to grow from here on. Because every costume that comes off that stage, from King and Queen from here on, should find a place. Because each one of them are really, it's just like when you look at the finals of 100 meters, any one of the members in that team, in that race, can win on that day. It's just one dance better, one push something different. They did something different that created something that was extraordinary. So we are ordinary people creating extraordinary things for the world. The world has not understood or grasped Trinidad Carnival as yet, because we really don't market it the way we should. But those who have gotten a taste of Carnival over the years will understand that this is a very unique country. It is phenomenal. And when we encourage the children to play Kiddies Carnival and come up, you are really helping them to understand their value, and it builds their self-esteem, because they know that whatever they're wearing, they're looking beautiful. And that's the greatest thing about wearing one of these masterpieces. If we didn't have Carnival, we would be going all over the world and watching it and saying, wow, you know that? But here we have it in abundance, and we, oh yeah, right. Okay. Well, you know what? Thank God we have it. Let's now portray it. Let's now preserve it and enjoy it. This exhibition, for me, I wish it long life, infinitum. And some of you may be alive in 20 years from now to see what it could really have spawned into. And you can imagine we may very well be lending museums our art. Mm-hmm. Now this is not just art that is painted. This is art that is moving. It is where you display the beauty and movement of art. And Peter Minchin put it so nicely for us. It's art in motion. Thank you very much.
Just get those magic words.
Gosh, I was so excited. Today, March the 8th? 9th. March the 9th. Today, March the 9th, I declare PANTHEON. My absolute pleasure. I pass the baton back on to you to continue.
I have to confess, I didn't know the Mia was a carnival baby, and he had a lineage. Not just a carnival baby, but a cultural baby, and he had that kind of lineage and stuff like that, you know what I mean? He had real pedigree and stuff, so it's easy to understand why he would snap onto it and stuff like that. We appreciate that noise. Belmont boy, the words of Horace Obey, who just was knighted by the Queen. Belmont boy, first black feature filmmaker in the UK. Horace Obey from Belmont, formerly Jones. Yeah, knighted Sir Horace Obey. When Horace left here in the 60s and went to San Francisco and Paris and London, at the times when those cities said that they were going through their golden ages, and everybody says they should have seen San Francisco this time, or Paris, or whatever. Horace declared after seeing them all that the greatest city on the face of the earth was Belmont in the 50s and 60s. Belmont. Right? So we celebrate Belmont and stuff. David Rutherford was earlier on today. The pictures, the kind of news of Belmont. So we celebrate Belmont and those types of communities, the mother communities of Trinidad and Tobago, that are responsible for this. So before we go on to the final thing, which is the dancing, of a costume, because we're here to celebrate the dance, right? I want to just give some thanks, right? So, first of all, I want to thank, of course, His Excellency Mayor and the entire City Corp and the entire the whole team there at the Mayor's office and City Hall for the, the kind indulgence and patronage and adoption of this. We want to thank the National Trust of Trinidad and Tobago, who we at the Artists Coalition of Trinidad and Tobago have partnered with over the years in battles for the preservation of the built heritage and sites of Trinidad and Tobago, and whose offices are lodged here at Mille Fleurs after years and years of battle, 23 years to get legislation implemented. We finally have the legislation there, and they are the ones who are championing those things, and that's why we're able to stand in a refurbished Mille Fleurs and to house something like this in one of what was once one of the great houses. So if you know anything about Cambodian emancipation, this is one of the greatest symbols of emancipation, is that the people who are in the fields there and who are on the other side of the hills are now here, and their royalty is now ensconced here. That is emancipation and Cambodia here. As that Carnival is about, and as that Trinidad and Tobago is about, and that's what the movement of freedom in the world is about, that Carnival sits at the tip of the spear of. We want to thank the Wirebenders Association of Trinidad and Tobago, who are partnered with us with this. Part of this exhibition is a tribute to the artisans of Trinidad and Tobago, and you'll see parts of that inside there. You'll see examples of the wirebending skill of members of the Trinidad and Tobago Wirebenders Association. Principally, we would like to thank Roger Hicks, who was so instrumental in getting a lot of the costumes and pieces and all those kinds of things. I want to thank my team, the board members, the larger board members of the Artists Coalition, past and present, people like Andrew Reyes, Short Fortuny, and Sean Randu, Sheldon Manu, Gregory Fernandez, Fabian Alfonso, that whole team, scientists, Travis Mulrain, all of those who are part of the struggles and those things. We want to thank the team who put this together, Kirk Langton, partner in crime, in terms of the design and layout and getting all that stuff, who is an incredible events person and is able to pull magic out of a hat. Larry Richardson, who's our resident artisan, who helps build the stuff that we require to house these things. And I want to thank the staff of the Mille Fleurs. What's your name? Artie? Courtney, and that whole crew who pitched in and that kind of stuff, and who were part of putting the entire thing together. I want to say that this exhibition is dedicated to the artisans of Trinidad and Tobago, known and unknown, the unsung. The ones who, I said there, the ones something that you read inside there is that all civilizations are judged by their artisans. The things that rhyme and that live on are artifacts of artisan skill that are found in the sands and in the forests and in the ruins and those things. It is the hands of the artisans that civilizations are judged by the content of those artifacts, by the finesse, the skill, the rhyme, the reason of those artifacts. And when we look back at Trinidad and Tobago and our golden age and at our greatest artifacts, people might have to say this is one of the greatest places that has ever existed on planet Earth because of those artisans. And so we celebrate them. That's one part of the dedication. And I also want to dedicate personally this exhibition to my mother, Christiana Rubadiri Victor, who unfortunately got a stroke 2 weeks ago and is battling and stuff. So this one's for you, Mom, right? On the day after International Women's Day, she actually got a boost yesterday and stuff. So our feeling is that woman energy, that goddess energy in the air, You know, so you know we all rallying family, everybody, and that kind of stuff. She's a teacher, ex-teacher, she's tens of thousands of surrogate children. So you know they all rallying with her and stuff. So you know this one is for you, mom. You know, in front of Madame Coquet, you know, to dust away all blight and bad mind and negativity and disease and infirmity and all those things. We send it to a place where it can do no harm, right? So we look at all this energy and stuff. So we want to thank all those things, and in closing, I want to say that there are some things that this exhibition is about. We are calling on the corporate sector of Trinidad and Tobago to adopt a costume and to get a habit of adopting a costume, a king and queen and a great individual costume after Carnival. So that you say 99% of the costumes are destroyed after Carnival. But you can adopt a costume, have it situated in your atriums, in your lobbies, in your sports clubs, in different spaces and stuff for the year. Right? We're also calling state agencies, lobbies of Napa, Sapa, Queen's Hall, all those spaces and those kinds of things. Adopt one of the great costumes of the year. It should be a matter of course that the great costumes go to the lobbies of the Piaco Airport and to those other places and that kind of stuff. But 6 months of the year, the other 6 they're out in the world, touring the world, dancing for the world, and showing the world who Trinidad and Tobago is, and making foreigns, of course. You know? And so that's what this is about. It's about getting that there. So we are calling on corporate TNT and state TNT to adopt a costume for a year. Mille Fleurs and the National Trust is the first adopter of that. So they have loaned their grounds to adopt costumes. So costumes will be here on site, right, at Mille Fleurs. So let that be a flare in the sky that alerts others that this is something that should be done. The other thing that we want to ask corporate TT is that we want to tip our hats to the newly appointed Carnival Museum, Rosalind Gabriel and Kenyatta and that entire crew, who have been able to get First Citizens, that gracious gift of First Citizens of Penny Bank, for an office space for the Carnival and the Carnival Museum, so that finally there's a home where some things can be housed. But we all know that the Carnival Museum is not a 40 by 40 office building or ex-bank or whatever. The Carnival Museum is something that is about 300 feet by 300, or 600 by 300, something. It's something that will take up the footprint of the grandstand and north stand of the Carnival. That's where it should be, and the stands incorporated into it. And we know that part of it is that the 100 greatest costumes of all time should be rebuilt, and at every time 30 of them should be present inside those walls, and the other 70 in storage for all over the world doing their work, rotating. And that is the civilization that we want to invoke. So it starts with a warehouse facility. First Citizens has stepped up. I'm calling on corporate TT to now step up further and give the Carnival Museum a warehouse facility for the housing of the grand costumes and for the enterprise of the reconstruction of the 100 greatest costumes of all time with the Wirebenders Association, so we could relearn the engineering skill that we are losing as part of the aesthetics and the grand imagination of the Trinidadian person. Right, so those are the things that we are calling for as the Artists Coalition of Trinidad and Tobago, and so the mayor has declared this thing open. And so now we're going to all move down there, Mayor, everybody, to one of our kings, Darren Arts. The costume is the conduit, messenger, healer. And the idea behind the costume is that all those are names on the wings of ancestors, great icons of Trinidad and Tobago. And as we are borne aloft by the great ancestors and the great icons and their work, and actually we had compiled the Artists Coalition when we had said there is such a thing called a golden age generation, and they were all going to pass by 2012, and we had to document and we had to do all this stuff before that time. We had compiled something called an ancestor list that tracked hundreds and hundreds of deaths of elders during that period. And in fact, he used that list, we didn't even know, to get the names that are all over this thing. So this is really a testimony to a period of time. This is the golden ages. The golden ages, especially who are on those wings, right? And so this is everything what this exhibition is about. This is about the celebration of that ancestry, the power of those people without whom we would not exist. This is Sundar Popo and all those names, all the great names and stuff there. And so we can go up close and look at it. So I want to invite everyone now to go there and celebrate the opening of Pantheon with Darren Axe and his costume, the conduit messenger healer, dancing the opening of Pantheon 2020. Thank you very much.
All right, people, so we just got the opening speech. The exhibit is now open. As Rubadiri stated, you can go to the National Trust TT online, book an hour to come through, corporate TT, schools, you and your family, Tanti and Nenen, just to come through the space, book an hour. Adults are $50, children $20. Should be able to come in on the space and celebrate our culture, the kings and queens of Trinidad and Tobago people. On display here at Mille Fleurs, part of the Magnificent Seven around the Savannah. This costume here, one of our kings for 2022. As Rubadiri stated, the names of the ancestors of our space, of our island. Terence Mohammed, I'm making out names. This costume will be danced. Hey, look, Larry. What's that? Oh, can I go this way, please, love? Sorry. You stay there, yeah.
This way, please. Thank you. So, hello.
Larry. Nice to see you, darling. Yes. No, I don't know. I put it on silent. Put everything on silent.
You may have more than any good, because I'll stay close to you. You're going inside that. Talk.
Inside what?
No, when you're talk. I say, give it to me now. My phone. Who has it?
I have it.
No, yeah, so give me a yeah. But now I can stay close to you.
But I cannot walk around.
Yeah. Oh, live? Or meaning do the whole thing now?
Yeah.
That's streaming good for you, right? Let me see, please.
You alright?
Just try to call me. And then you the arms down the side.
This is what it's all about. So at some point in time, we won't get the costume on the thing and everybody's here. Nice. I feel you win. I should probably get
And that could be very
win picture there.
you know, you see only man here, but could be very comfortable man.
Oh, nice. All right.
That's
That's the police lady.
Right, so, yeah, enough talk. We do enough talk. And you send the words out into the universe.
Let's see.
Time for the damn thing self. Any costumes down.
Let me talk. Can I step off the stage? And let the dancers dance.
Oh, this is oh. Oh, the upstairs shot. Pat Bishop, Lord Kitchener. What are you making all the words? Shorty Eye, Sunda Popo. You getting the names? Yeah, so Terrence Mohammed, yes.
Pat Bishop.
Yeah. McKen, who's this?
Freddie.
Lord Kitchener, B.S. Nightfall.
Clive Zander, Mr. Zander. Yes, people, so you'll hear the names of the greats being called out, all on the wings. They are being filmed. Brother Resistance, everybody. Yeah, so the masterminds behind the thing, discussing people. Hey. It's things. It's a learning experience. Okay. Strike a pose, darling. Strike a pose. Give us face. Yes. Yes, drama them. You know, photo up. You see, when you come to the exhibit, people, this is what you can do with the costumes. Pose. And then send them out to all your family who are abroad who can't be here and say, hey, next year. Next year. Yeah. So we're doing this. Let me walk.
NFTs and those
Hey,
things are
love.
mutual wood, mutual sensory of wood, right? And if you do
So
not
use the hotspot to walk and go so.
if the overlords and the curators and those who assign it, then you creating NFTs is just like it's just nuisance value, and then you have to find
Because
out
at Vietnam, what happens is
you know,
this.
where those
They're
kinds
trying to
of
declare.
Oh,
things to kind of raise up.
you have a SD card?
Trinidad
Yeah.
really needs to do is float probably national. Like a think tank needs to get together and gather 100
Because I can't access anything,
in Trinidad.
send anything.
Things that have universal value.
I can only get it in the place where I'm able to delete it, not use it.
Oh.
Also have
Go on, go on,
Let me make sure the hotspot's still on.
and declare those.
It is 10 to 10 off.
What
Right, it's
those
still on.
entities will do is they will set
Let me just make circle the bends real quick and come back.
legal branch.
Alright, beautiful people, as we walk the grounds of Mille Fleurs, we are in Mille Fleurs, part of the Magnificent Seven. Yes, one of these magnificent buildings around the savannah. I'm sure you all are familiar with Curated, which will be in that direction. This is the third building in the lot. You'll see how the costumes are on display. Or you could tell me this thing in the people and them plantation house with carnival costume. We out here. This is emancipation of the carnival spirit taking over the colonial spaces. This is what we talk about. This costume here looks like a king costume. Where's the information for it? You'll be able to come out and take in the craftsmanship. As we discussed, this is a celebration of our artisans, wire bending at its finest. These panels here are chock full of information. Senor Gomez, one of our great iron benders. I think the head of this is on the inside. The dragon. So these costumes in the pictures here may have been the costumes that have been destroyed over the years, but need to be returned. Get on board, people. We're looking to, revamp, revive, be reborn in this space. Just imagine seeing these things on display all over the country now. For reals, for reals. The hat I got for Christmas is too big. 1986, the year I was born. I'm giving away my age. I don't care. I'm out here. Yeah. Ooh, look at craftsmanship. And I believe I'm sure this was walking. A bajak pushing ganja. All you get them. Get them. A long time you're trying to bring the thing back into this space. Long time. Yes. And could you imagine seeing this in motion? All the legs moving, dancing to, oh come, this is creativity. Oh good. 2011, this is just the other day. Look at costume. That is costume. Man Crab, Peter Minshall. I had this book. I don't know where it gone. Anybody have a copy you want to get to me? I'll be glad for, even if it's photocopied. Yeah, with Callaloo and all of them. I would really like to get back that book. Or else I'd lose that. We need to return these costumes to the space, people. Yes. Bats and clowns. Traditional mask. In its finest. Splendoria, Glory of the Sun, 1993. Yeah, people, we need to build the Carnival and Steel Band Museum. That's what we need to come together as a country and do. Ooh, the visitor. 1988. Imagine how futuristic this was looking back in the day. Yeah. So we're in the space. This is me back at the start. Right. Sprite of the Cocal. Sprite of the Cokie. Nice. 1987. So we're moving across. Wait. I seen something that look like a praying mantis up on the tree. Come on. So yes, people, wire bending. This here looking like a dragon. It is a dragon. You see, I'm smart. Whoop whoop. So instead of regular arts and craft, paper and paint, we bending the wire, people. We bending the wire. I sure Drago had eyes that was lit up. I'm sure he had eyes, you see? Ooh, look at this one. Imagine this on the stage dancing. Yeah? So you could come down to the space here at Mille Fleurs. This is Mille Fleurs, part of the Magnificent Seven around the Queen's Park, Savannah. Now the other costumes, people. And now I take you all inside. See? Look at how this is looking on the entrance. Look how this is looking on the entrance, all here. We take over the space. We take over the space. Yeah? Carnival in the space. Where I don't think Carnival would have been allowed back in the day. But now it is. That's why this is an expression of us. PANTHEON, an exhibition of the King and Queen costumes of the Trinidad and Tobago Carnival. So this Moko Jumbie, I believe, is in front of something that represents the Stallmeyer Castle. It looks Stallmeyer-y. We have the Blue Devils. Parmin. Big up all yourself. I never run from them, you know. In fact, I actually take part in a Parmin. Courtney! Thank you for your assistance, love. This is us here. Again, the panels. We have art on exhibit. We have here a dragon head, a bat, and a cow. Traditional mask on display. Traditional mask is the key. And dragon head, this dragon head dance, dragon dance. So you could come into the space. We have here a tribute to the wire bender, as I was telling you on the outside, Senor Gomez. Yeah? Senor Gomez is part of the thing, and I will be the first to make a little tie. We're decorating this heart, people. So I'll make my first tie. This is me, Zola, leaving my mark in this space. You could come through and do the same. Right? More wire bending on display. This is an art form that needs to be preserved, people. Hey, Crazy, thanks for joining. Share the live. I am coming off just now, but I will save it so that you all can hear exactly what the mayor of Port of Spain, the Honorable Mr. Martinez, stated, you know, keeping the culture alive, seeing us on corners, in spaces, adopt a costume according to Rubadiri. We have here Indian headdress. No cultural appropriation here. This is we thing. This is we thing. Yeah. Larry being interviewed. He's one of our wire benders, one of our preservers of the thing. I worked with Larry once, which was a good experience. That's how I was able to help my friends and then make some costumes for their for a birthday line. You see me wire bending and thing. Another person that, you know, I was able to to attest to my carnival experience, through my friend Shannon, her dad Stephen Derrick. I was able to, you know, pass through his mass camp and be able to work there and help make mass. So these are things that you all can do. Yes, blow it up, wire bending to the world, dog. You seen this craftsmanship? We outside. So as I said, the last thing before I take off the live, you all can come to the space by going online to book an hour at the National Trust of Trinidad and Tobago online. You all could go to Mille Fleurs. Mille Fleurs. I just want to end it right. Yeah. So as I said, you all can come into the space, people. Book on the National Trust website, to book a viewing. Schools, family. It's $50 for adults, $20 for children. You can come into the space. You can take pictures with the costumes. You can inquire with the Artist Coalition to see how to go about maybe teaching, having a little workshop for wire bending. It are real things for us to do, man. It's our space. You come and take over. Thing to do. Of course, real thing to do. Real thing to do. So, okay, guys, I'm going to save this, repost and share. Only taking what the mayor had to say, taking what Rubadiri had to say. It's real vibes, it's things. The display is on until the 27th of March. Every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Yeah, real photo space, boy. Real IG thing. Yeah. I'm going to see if I could do that one time now. Thanks for the idea. Social media, the thing. You could come and TikTok. You know, all your young people. Come and make a little tick at the talk in the Mille Fleurs. How do you spell Mille Fleurs? M-I-L-L-I-E. No? One L? One I? Oh, M-I-L-L-E. Mille. And Fleur, I know how to spell Fleur. F-L-E-U-R. E. S? Oh, because it's million flowers. Not million flower, it's flowers. Okay, so yeah, the S at the end, it's French. Alright. Oui. Yeah, Patrice give all you a little idea what is we. And not W-E-O-U-I people. We have French heritage. Come and learn all your things. Come and be in this space. This is a space I'm very certain that you're not even sure that you could have. Yes, come on TikTok in the plantation them house. I'm sure it's a space you never even thought that you would have been able to have access to. But you could come and access it. You could come and take pictures. You could IG the costumes. These costumes will be on display until the 27th of March. Come and take over this space all here. Come and take over this space. Let me see if I can selfie this thing. Come and take over this space all here. Yeah? Come out here. We outside. Yeah? Mask up. Do the right thing. Follow protocols. But come and TikTok and IG the space. Yeah? The kings and queens of Carnival. We need to bring them back. We need to walk on them. Yeah? Alright then, guys. Love you all. Thanks for tuning in. Share. And come and join the National Trust, the National Coalition. Anything to, you know, add to it, come and join. Right then? Yeah.
We're going to do the